Students, what's the moment you realized your teacher was more afraid of your parents than concerned for you? I was practicing Mandarin tones with my mother when she slapped me so hard my vision blurred. The sound echoed off our dining room walls. My cheek burned like someone had pressed hot metal against it. Third tone rises then falls, she screamed. How many times have I told you? How many? Before I could answer, my father grabbed the HSK textbook from the table and threw it at my arm. The corner caught me just below my shoulder. I bit down hard on my tongue to keep from crying out. Blood filled my mouth. Your sister Anna learned this when she was 8, he said. You're 13, 5 years older and still making baby mistakes. I swallowed the blood, tasted copper and shame. This wasn't the first time. It wasn't even the worst time. Last Monday, I'd mixed up French conjugations during dinner practice. My mother twisted my ear until it bled. Tuesday was Spanish DELE practice. I confused ser and estar again. My father made me stand in the corner holding grammar books above my head for an hour. My arms shook so bad I dropped them twice. Each time meant starting over. Wednesday's IELTS writing session ended with no dinner because I used which instead of that in a restrictive clause. Thursday, I wrote the character for I with the wrong stroke order. 30 minutes kneeling on uncooked rice. The grains left deep indents in my knees that lasted 2 days. Every Friday was the worst. 4 languages rotating every hour from 4 in the afternoon until 11 at night. Spanish to Mandarin to French to English and back again. My brain felt like someone was stirring it with a hot poker. Saturday mornings meant mock exams in all 4 languages. Anything below 95% meant physical punishment. Last week, I got 93 on the French listening section. My mother made me stand outside in the cold for 2 hours reciting irregular verbs. This had been going on for 8 months, ever since Anna got into Oxford's linguistics program. We're investing everything in your education, my mother would say while pulling out her calculator. $3,200 a month for private tutors, $800 for each language. Other parents would kill for these opportunities. I'd lost 15 pounds in 3 months. At 5'2", I now weighed 89 pounds. My ribs showed through my school uniform. The nurse kept asking questions I couldn't answer. I hadn't auditioned for a single school play this year. Drama was my only joy, but there was no time. Every minute not spent in regular school was devoted to languages. I'd written 73 punishments in my hidden diary, the one they didn't know about, tucked inside my old stuffed bear. My friends stopped inviting me places. How could I explain the bruises, the exhaustion, why I flinched when anyone raised their hand too fast? I slept 4 hours a night if I was lucky, started pulling out my own hair during tests. Little bald patches I covered with headbands. My grades dropped in every subject except languages. Math, science, history, all failing. But I could conjugate French verbs in my sleep. The International Language Fair was next week. My parents entered me in all 4 categories: Mandarin speech, Spanish debate, French poetry recitation, English essay competition, 4 separate stages, 4 chances to humiliate them. The morning of the fair, I stood backstage waiting for the Mandarin presentation. 200 parents in the audience, my mother in the front row with her phone out, recording. My father next to her, arms crossed. I walked to the podium, opened my mouth to speak. The characters I'd known since age 5 disappeared. My mind went completely blank. Not a single word of Mandarin remained. The silence stretched. 5 seconds, 10, 20. I started crying. Not gentle tears, but huge, gasping sobs. My legs gave out. I tried to grab the podium, but missed. Hit the stage floor hard. When I woke up, I was in the nurse's office. Ms. Martinez, our school counselor, was taking photos of the bruises on my arms. Fresh ones. Old ones. Yellow ones turning green. This isn't normal, alias, she whispered. I'm documenting everything. Every single mark. My mouth tasted like copper again. They'll kill me if they find out. No, she said. They won't get the chance. Through the window, I could see my parents in the hallway, my mother pacing, my father on his phone. They thought I was faking. They always thought I was faking. Ms. Martinez pulled out her phone and dialed a number I didn't recognize. Yes, she said, I need to report suspected child abuse. I have documentation. The student just collapsed at a school event. My parents were still waiting outside. They had no idea, miss. Martinez had just called someone. They had no idea everything was about to change. 2 days after I collapsed at the language fair, Ms. Martinez scheduled a formal meeting with my parents. I sat outside the conference room listening through the cracked door. Ms. Martinez had spread papers across the table. Medical records from the school nurse, my weight chart showing 15 pounds lost in 3 months, report cards with failing grades in every subject except languages. Alias has lost dangerous amounts of weight, Ms. Martinez said. She's down to 89 pounds. The nurse is extremely concerned. My mother's voice cut through like glass. Western softness is ruining education. This is why American students rank so low globally. Mrs. Chen, your daughter collapsed on stage. She needed medical attention. She was being dramatic, looking for attention. Ms. Martinez shuffled more papers. Her grades in math, science, and history are all failing. She's only maintaining scores in language courses. Of course, my father said. Because we prioritize what matters. Languages open doors. Math can be learned later. Mr. Chen, the bruises on her arms. Children fall, they play, they get marks. These bruises are consistent with being grabbed, with objects being thrown. Silence for 3 seconds. Then my mother's voice, colder than I'd ever heard it. Are you accusing us of something? I'm documenting concerns. As a mandated reporter, Anna achieved fluency in all 4 languages by 15, my father interrupted. Complete fluency. She's at Oxford now. We know what works. Every child is different. What worked for Anna might not. We didn't hire tutors worth $3,200 a month to hear about different learning styles. My mother stood up. I could hear her chair scrape. I'm a language teacher myself, 20 years of experience at international schools. I know what's best for my daughter. I'd like to continue meeting with Alias, help her process the stress. No. Mrs. Chen, she needs support. She needs discipline. She needs to stop making excuses. Papers rustled. I'm asking you to reconsider. The counseling sessions could help her academic performance. My father laughed, not a happy sound. Her academic performance was fine until you started filling her head with victim mentality, making her think she's suffering when she's simply being educated properly. Mr. Chen, we're withdrawing consent for any counseling sessions, effective immediately. That's your right, but I want it on record that I strongly advise against. Put whatever you want on record, my mother said, but you will not see our daughter again without our explicit permission. And we will not give it. Footsteps moved toward the door. I scrambled back to the waiting area chair. One more thing, my father said from the doorway. We donate significant funds to this school. The new language lab. The scholarship program. I'd hate to reconsider our financial support because one counselor overstepped boundaries. The door opened. My parents walked out. My mother grabbed my arm exactly where the largest bruise was. I bit my tongue to keep from wincing. Get up, she said. We're going home. You have 4 hours of language practice to make up. As they marched me down the hallway, I looked back once. Ms. Martinez stood in her doorway watching us leave. She mouthed 2 words I could barely make out. I'm sorry. The car ride home felt like being driven to my execution. You humiliated us, my mother said, gripping the steering wheel so tight her knuckles went white. 200 parents watched you collapse like a toddler having a tantrum. The Wangs asked if you had mental problems, my father added from the passenger seat. Their daughter scored perfect on all 4 language sections. We pulled into our driveway. My mother turned around. Her face was stone. New schedule starts today. 2 hours per language, 8 hours total, every single day. My stomach dropped. But that's impossible with regular school. Then you'll sleep less. Inside, they made me sit at the dining table while they laid out the new rules. My father pulled out a laminated schedule, 4 blocks of 2 hours each. Spanish from 3 to 5, Mandarin from 5 to 7, French from 7 to 9, English from 9 to 11. What about homework for other classes? During lunch, between periods, figure it out. My mother looked at Anna, who'd been standing in the doorway. You'll supervise when we're at work. Make sure she doesn't slack off. Anna's face went pale. Mom, I have my own studies. Your studies are online. You can watch her while you work. That night, Anna sat across from me during Mandarin practice. She held the flashcards, but her hands shook. Read the character, she said quietly. I stared at the symbol for elder brother. My brain felt like mush. I can't remember. You have to try harder. Her voice cracked. Please. They'll blame me if you don't improve. I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm sorry too, she whispered back, then louder for the camera. Wrong tone. Do it again. The camera. They'd installed it that afternoon. A small black dome in the corner of my room, red light always blinking, connected to my father's phone so he could watch from work. They can see us but not hear us if we whisper, Anna explained during French conjugation. The audio only picks up normal speaking volume. My parents also searched my room while I was at school. They found my regular diary, the decoy one where I wrote fake positive things about language learning. They read it out loud at dinner, mocking my childish thoughts. They didn't find the real one inside my old teddy bear. You wrote that French makes you feel sophisticated, my mother sneered. How adorable. Yet you can't even conjugate avoir properly. Thursday night, I made a mistake during English grammar. Used past perfect instead of past continuous. My father stood up slowly, walked to my bookshelf, pulled out the heaviest grammar textbook. Arms out, he said. I held my arms straight out. He placed the book on my right hand, then another on my left. Hold these while you recite all 16 English tenses. Drop them and we start over. 20 minutes in, my arms burned like fire. 30 minutes, they shook uncontrollably. 40 minutes, the left book fell. Start over. Anna watched from the doorway. Tears ran down her face, but she didn't make a sound. By Friday, I could barely lift my backpack. The bruise from the thrown textbook had turned purple-green. During PE, I changed in the bathroom stall so no one would see. But Ms. Martinez saw me in the hallway. Our eyes met for 2 seconds. She looked at my arms, saw how I held them stiff against my body. She started walking toward me. I ran the other direction. That evening, during Spanish subjunctive practice, Anna suddenly grabbed my hand under the table. I'm documenting everything, she whispered so quiet I barely heard. Every single thing they do. We're going to get through this. The camera's red light blinked above us like an unblinking eye. Saturday morning, I texted Emma for the first time in weeks. My parents were at their monthly university alumni meeting. Anna was supposedly supervising me, but she'd fallen asleep at her desk. I had maybe an hour. Emma's mom answered the door. Mrs. Patterson taught ESL at the community college. She'd known me since I was 7. Al, yes, we haven't seen you in months. Can I stay here? Just for a few hours? She frowned. Did your parents say it was okay? They're at a meeting. Come in. Emma's upstairs. Emma's room felt like entering another world. Posters of bands, makeup scattered on her desk, normal teenage things I'd forgotten existed. Holy shit, you look terrible, Emma said. Thanks. No, seriously, you've lost so much weight. Mrs. Patterson brought us sandwiches. When I reached for one, my sleeve rode up. She saw the bruises, purple fingerprints on my forearm, the yellow-green mark from the textbook. Alias, what happened to your arms? Nothing. I fell. She sat down next to me. Those don't look like falling bruises. Emma grabbed my other arm, pushed up that sleeve, more bruises. Fresh ones from yesterday when my mother grabbed me during French practice. Who did this? I pulled my arms back. Nobody. I bruise easily. Mrs. Patterson's face changed. Is someone hurting you at home? No. Alias, I'm a mandated reporter. If someone is, please don't. Please, they'll make it worse. Who's they? I started crying, couldn't stop. Emma held me while I sobbed into her shoulder. Mrs. Patterson left the room. I heard her on the phone in the hallway. My stomach dropped. 20 minutes later, our doorbell rang. My father's voice boomed through the house. Where is she? Mrs. Patterson met him at the door. I'm concerned about the bruises on Alias's arms. She's clumsy. Always has been. These look like grip marks. Are you a doctor? No? Then don't diagnose. My mother appeared behind him. We appreciate your concern, but our daughter has been going through a rebellious phase, making up stories for attention. I didn't say anything, I said quickly. Too quickly. My mother's eyes narrowed. Get in the car. The ride home was silent. When we got inside, my father called my grandparents on speaker. Your granddaughter tried to run away today. Made some American woman think we're abusing her. My grandmother's voice crackled through the phone. American parents let their children run wild. No discipline. We're just trying to educate her properly, my mother said. 4 languages, like Anna. You're good parents, my grandfather said. Firm discipline builds character. We raised you the same way. The bruises were from her clumsiness, my father added. Of course. Children always hurt themselves playing. After they hung up, my mother turned to me. No more social contact, no Emma, no sleepovers, no phone. But, you want to act like we're monsters? Fine, now you have no audience for your performance. My father added, we told the extended family you're going through a phase. Acting out because Anna's at Oxford and you're jealous. That's not... Monday, we're hiring an academic coach to supervise you when we're not home. Someone who understands proper education standards. Anna appeared in the doorway. She'd heard everything. I'll watch her better, she said quietly. You don't need to hire someone. You fell asleep today. That's why this happened. Anna looked at me. Her eyes said sorry. But we both knew sorry wouldn't change anything. That night, lying in bed with the camera's red light blinking above me, I heard my parents talking in their room. The Patterson woman might call someone, my mother said. Let her. We're upstanding citizens, donors, who'll believe a dramatic teenager over us. Monday morning, Principal Chen called Ms. Martinez to his office. I watched through the window as he gestured at papers on his desk. Ms. Martinez's face went from confused to angry to defeated in 3 minutes. She came out looking like someone had died. I've been removed from your case, she told me in the hallway. Principal's orders. What? Why? Cultural differences in parenting styles. That's the official reason. But you saw the bruises. You documented everything. She looked around, then whispered, your parents donated $40,000 for the new language lab. My stomach dropped. So that's it? They bought him? Your new counselor is Mr. Harrison. He believes in strict academic standards. Mr. Harrison was 60 years old and thought participation trophies ruined children. His first meeting with me lasted 5 minutes. Your parents want excellence. Stop making excuses. That was it. That was his whole counseling approach. PE class became my only hope. Mrs. Brooks saw the bruises every time we changed. The first report she filed disappeared. The second one never made it past the principal's office. The third time, she marched straight to the district office herself. They claim it got lost in processing, she told me later. 3 times, lost. He's covering for them. I can't prove that. So nothing happens? She looked like she wanted to say more, but just squeezed my shoulder and walked away. Thursday night, after my parents had gone to bed, Anna slipped into my room. The camera was still recording, but she stood in its blind spot near my closet. She pressed something into my hand. A phone, old model, cracked screen. Recording app is already installed, she whispered so quietly I barely heard. Document everything. Where did you get this? Bought it with cash. Untraceable. Keep it in your underwear drawer. They won't check there. Why are you helping me? Because I survived this barely, and nobody helped me. She showed me how to use the app. 1 tap to start recording. Auto uploads to a cloud account she'd created. Record every punishment, every threat, every mark they leave. What if they find it? Then we're both dead. She wasn't joking. So don't let them find it. The next morning, I tested it during Spanish practice. My mother screaming about subjunctive conjugations. The slap when I mixed up irregular verbs. All recorded, all uploaded. Anna supervised my Mandarin session that afternoon. While I practiced characters, she helped me set up a system. Real homework hidden inside language worksheets. Essays where I documented everything in metaphors my parents wouldn't understand. Write about a bird in a cage learning to sing in 4 languages, she suggested. They'll think it's creative writing. I wrote 3 pages about a bird whose wings were clipped every time it sang the wrong note. My English teacher would either understand or think I was seriously disturbed. In the bathroom at school, I took photos of every new bruise, purple fingerprints on my forearms, red marks on my shoulders from being shaken. The phone's camera was terrible quality, but you could still see everything. Emma's mom had slipped her number into my backpack with a note. Call if emergency. Anytime. I memorized the number, then ate the paper. Friday's punishment was the worst yet. I'd confused French past participle agreements. My father made me hold a grammar book in each hand with arms fully extended while reciting rules. When my arms dropped after 40 minutes, he added another book. I recorded the whole thing, his voice cold and measured. You're weak. Anna could hold them for an hour at your age. Saturday, I created fake practice sheets to hide my real homework. Math problems tucked between Spanish vocabulary lists. History notes disguised as French essay practice. The camera couldn't see the difference. Anna watched me work, occasionally calling out corrections for the camera's benefit, while texting me encouragement on the hidden phone. You're getting stronger, her text said. Feels like dying, I replied. That's how you know you're still alive. Sunday night, reviewing the week's recordings, I had 17 files, 17 pieces of evidence, 17 times they'd crossed lines no parent should cross. Anna sat next to me in the camera's blind spot. State Language Olympics in 3 weeks, she said. They're entering you in all 4 categories. I know. You won't survive that level of pressure. I know that too. She squeezed my hand. We need to get you out before then. Monday morning, Ms. Martinez waited outside the science building where the cameras couldn't see. I'm still documenting everything, she said quickly, pressing a hall pass into my hand. Every time I see you. Every pound you lose. Every bruise. She snapped a photo of my arms before I could pull my sleeves down. The bruises had turned yellow-green, fingerprints still visible. PE class that afternoon, Mrs. Brooks announced routine fitness assessments. Height and weight measurements, state requirements. When my turn came, she closed the curtain around the scale. 84 pounds, she whispered. You've lost 5 more pounds since last week. I can't keep food down anymore. She photographed the new bruises on my shoulders, the long red mark across my back where the textbook caught me. Her phone clicked 5 times. These are going straight to the district, not through Principal Chen. He'll block them anyway. Not if I send them to 5 different people. The school nurse called me in during lunch. Another weight check. More documentation. Your BMI is critically low. I'm required to notify. My parents, I know. They'll say I have an eating disorder. Is that what this is? I pulled up my sleeve. Showed her the fresh bruises from morning Mandarin practice. Does this look self-inflicted? She took photos, measured each bruise, documented the locations. Your stomach pains. Describe them. Burning, like someone poured acid inside me. Worse during language practice. Stress gastritis. Classic presentation. She wrote quickly. How much hair loss? I pulled off my headband. Showed her the bald patches. She took more photos. Started 2 months ago. Gets worse during tests. Are you having panic attacks? Yesterday during French class. Couldn't breathe. Thought I was dying. What triggered it? Nothing. Everything. My mother started screaming about accent marks and suddenly I couldn't get air. The nurse typed everything into her computer. This is medical abuse. Your body is shutting down from chronic stress. That evening, Anna had a brilliant idea. Our parents were having dinner with university colleagues, discussing their parenting philosophy over wine. I'll get them talking, she said. You record from the kitchen. I pressed myself against the wall, phone recording through the doorway crack. Western parents don't understand, my father said. Excellence requires sacrifice. But surely there are limits, someone suggested. Children need balance. My mother laughed. Balance is for mediocrity. We're raising future leaders. What about when they resist? Physical correction works for eyes, my father said calmly. Not abuse, discipline, a slap for wrong pronunciation, standing punishment for poor grammar, it builds character. Anna turned out perfect, my mother added. Full scholarship to Oxford, 4 languages fluent by 15. And your younger daughter? She's harder. Weaker, but will break through her resistance. Break? The colleague sounded uncomfortable. Poor word choice, my father corrected. Shape. Mold. Perfect. They moved to discussing specific punishments. How long to make a child kneel on rice. The best positions for holding heavy books. How cold showers improve memory retention. I recorded 23 minutes, every word, every casual discussion of torturing their own child. Anna found me later, curled up in the bathroom crying. Did you get it? All of it. Good. Now we have them admitting everything. Tuesday's Spanish class nearly killed me. Literally. My heart started racing during subjunctive practice. 160 beats per minute, 170, 180. The room spun. I grabbed my desk. My teacher called the nurse. Panic attack, the nurse said. Severe one. My parents arrived angry, not concerned, angry. She's doing this for attention, my mother told the nurse. Faking symptoms. Her heart rate was dangerously elevated. That's not fakeable. She works herself up. Drama. The nurse pulled up my medical records on her screen. 5 pounds lost in a week. Stress gastritis. Hair loss. Panic attacks. This child is experiencing severe psychological trauma. From studying? Please. The nurse looked at them for a long moment, then typed something I couldn't see. Wednesday morning, I found a note in my locker from Miss Martinez. CPS has been notified, multiple reports from multiple sources. They're building a case. Hold on. But holding on felt impossible. My body was giving up. Every morning, more hair on my pillow. Every meal, my stomach burned. Every language practice, my hands shook so bad I couldn't hold a pencil. Anna watched me deteriorating. State language Olympics in 2 weeks. We need to get you out before then. Thursday night, I was finishing Mandarin homework when my mother burst into my room. She held a piece of paper. My handwriting. My real diary page. What is this? She shook the paper in my face. I was abused during French conjugation practice. My arm still hurts from where the dictionary hit me. My blood turned ice cold. That page was from last week. How did she find it? Answer me. Anna appeared in the doorway. That's mine. My mother spun around. Yours? From high school. My old journal. I was looking through it yesterday. This is your handwriting? Yes. My mother studied the paper. Then Anna. Then me. You're lying. Check the date, Anna said calmly. Top corner. 3 years ago. There was no date. But Anna's voice was so confident my mother looked again. I don't see... Because I tore that part off, embarrassing boy stuff on the other side. My father appeared behind Anna. What's happening? Anna kept a diary about our discipline methods. 3 years ago, Anna said, I was being dramatic. Teenage angst. My father took the paper, read it. His jaw tightened. You called our parenting abuse? I was 15. Everything felt like abuse. Where's the rest of it? Threw it out years ago. That page was in my old textbook. They didn't believe her. I could see it in their faces, but they couldn't prove she was lying. No more car for a month, my father said. Fine. And you'll supervise alias more closely. Of course. They left. Anna waited until their bedroom door closed, then whispered, "Where's the phone?" "Behind the toilet tank." "Move it." "Tonight." I shoved it inside my old period pad box under the sink, the one place they'd never check. Friday morning, a woman showed up at breakfast. "This is Dr. Patricia Wong," my mother announced. "Your new academic performance coach." Dr. Wong was maybe 40, wearing a business suit that probably cost more than our monthly grocery budget. She smiled like a shark. "I specialize in maximizing potential in gifted students." "I'm not gifted." "That's the laziness talking," she said. "Your parents showed me your early test scores. You have the capacity. You lack discipline." She followed me everywhere, sat in my classes taking notes, watched me during lunch, stood outside the bathroom stall. "You took 4 minutes," she said when I came out. "Excessive. Time wasted." During PE, she told Mrs. Brooks I was underperforming deliberately. "She's malnourished," Mrs. Brooks said. "She's manipulative. Classic attention-seeking behavior." After school, she supervised my Spanish practice. Every time I paused to think, she wrote something down. Unfocused, mentally wandering, lazy thought patterns. My mother read her notes that evening. "Dr. Wong says you could be fluent already if you applied yourself." "I can't think straight anymore. My brain..." "Excuses," Dr. Wong interrupted. "I've seen this pattern in entitled children. They create psychosomatic symptoms to avoid work." The nurse said, "School nurses aren't psychologists. I have a doctorate in behavioral analysis." She started coming earlier, staying later, monitoring my weekend practice, taking photos of me when I zoned out from exhaustion. Evidence of deliberate noncompliance, she told my parents. Anna tried to intervene. "She's sick. Look at her, she weighs nothing." "Weight can be controlled voluntarily," Dr. Wong said. "Some children starve themselves for attention." "That's not..." "Are you a behavioral expert?" "No?" "Then please don't interfere with my assessment." Sunday night, Dr. Wong presented her first week's report to my parents. 20 pages, single-spaced. "Chronic underperformance, deliberate resistance, attention-seeking behaviors, recommends intensive intervention." "What kind of intervention?" my father asked. "Complete isolation from peer influences, removal of all non-academic stimuli, consider residential language immersion program." "You want to send me away?" "I want to maximize your potential," Dr. Wong smiled. "There's an excellent facility in Vermont. Full immersion, no distractions." My mother nodded slowly. How soon could she start? "After the State Language Olympics would be ideal. Use the competition as final assessment." Anna grabbed my hand under the table, squeezed so hard it hurt. We both knew what that facility meant. Prison, complete isolation, no witnesses, no way out. Monday morning, Dr. Wong was rifling through my backpack during French practice when she found it. The phone. The old cracked one Anna gave me. "What's this?" She held it up like evidence in a murder trial. My stomach dropped to the floor. "I don't know. That's not mine." "Really?" She powered it on. The recording app was right there on the home screen. She tapped it. 23 audio files, 17 videos, all labeled with dates. My mother snatched the phone, played the first recording, her own voice screaming about Mandarin tones, the slap, my crying. "You recorded us?" "I didn't..." My father grabbed the phone, scrolled through more files. His face went from red to purple. "You little spy." "Anna must have put it there," Dr. Wong said. "Check who bought it." But Anna was smarter than that. She'd already uploaded everything to the cloud the night before. 3 different accounts, different passwords, all sent to Miss Martinez's email. My father threw the phone against the wall. It shattered into pieces. "Any other devices we should know about?" "No." They tore my room apart anyway, ripped open my mattress, dumped out every drawer, found nothing else because there was nothing else to find. "No more internet," my mother announced. "At all. Language learning sites only. Dr. Wong will monitor every click." They installed 2 more cameras, one facing my bed, one in the bathroom pointed at the mirror. No blind spots left. "You want to document abuse?" my father said. "Now we'll document your every move, every second." Tuesday at school, Ms. Martinez pulled me into the supply closet between classes. "You look like death," she said. 82 pounds now. She took photos of my face, the hollow cheeks, dark circles so deep they looked like bruises. "I'm calling CPS today. I don't care if I lose my job. They'll send me to Vermont. Isolation facility. Not if CPS intervenes first." "You don't understand. My parents have money, lawyers, Principal Chen on their side. And you have me, Mrs. Brooks, the nurse, Emma's mom. We're all filing reports." Wednesday, Dr. Wong announced new rules. I couldn't use the bathroom without her standing outside. Couldn't eat lunch without her watching. Couldn't breathe without her documenting it. "Bathroom break, 3 minutes, 42 seconds. Excessive," she'd write. Thursday night, my parents called a family meeting. My grandparents on video call from Taiwan, Dr. Wong presenting her findings. With intensive intervention, Alias could still compete successfully at State Language Olympics. "When is it?" my grandmother asked. 2 weeks, my mother said. She's entered in all 4 language categories. Mandarin presentation, Spanish debate, French poetry recitation, English essay competition, my father listed. 8 hours of competition in one day. Anna was sitting next to me. Under the table, she grabbed my wrist, felt for my pulse. It was racing. "She won't survive that," Anna said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at her. "What did you say?" my mother asked. "Look at her. She weighs nothing. She can't keep food down. Her hair is falling out." "Drama," Dr. Wong said. "Attention-seeking behavior." "She collapsed at the last language fair," Anna continued. "What happens when she collapses at state level?" In front of judges, cameras, other parents recording on their phones. My parents exchanged looks. "She won't collapse," my father said. "We'll make sure of it." "How?" "By force-feeding her? By carrying her on stage?" "By proper preparation," Dr. Wong interrupted. "I have supplements, energy drinks, stimulants if necessary." "You want to drug her?" I want to maximize her performance. Friday morning, Anna walked me to school. No car privileges meant we had 20 minutes alone. I've sent everything to 5 different people, she whispered. The recordings, the photos, your diary entries I photographed. It won't matter. They have too much power. State Language Olympics. 2 weeks. You'll collapse or worse. I know. She stopped walking, grabbed both my shoulders. We won't make it that long. Do you understand? Your body is shutting down. What choice do we have? I'm calling 911 next time you collapse. I don't care what they do to me. That night, my parents made me practice all 4 languages until midnight. When I finally went to bed, I could barely stand. 2 cameras blinked red above me. 13 days until State Language Olympics. Anna was right. We wouldn't make it that long. Saturday morning, my parents woke me at 5 a.m. No more regular school for 2 weeks, my mother announced. We've arranged leave from work. Total immersion training starts now. My father held up a new schedule. Every slot filled, no white space anywhere. 12 hours daily, Mandarin, Spanish, French, English, 3 hours each. What about eating? While studying. Bathroom? 5 minutes maximum, twice per day. Dr. Wong stood in the doorway with a box of energy drinks. These will help with focus. The first day almost killed me. 3 hours of Mandarin starting at 6 a.m., characters swimming on the page. My hand cramping from writing the same radical 500 times because I got the stroke order wrong once. Anna sat across from me with flashcards. What's this character? I don't know. You knew it yesterday. I can't think anymore. My mother heard from the kitchen. Wrong answer means consequences. She filled a bucket with ice water, made me stand in it barefoot while reciting tones. My feet went numb after 10 minutes, blue after 20. Spanish started at 9. Subjunctive mood for 3 straight hours. Every mistake meant kneeling on uncooked rice. The grains dug into my knees like tiny knives. 30 minutes on rice. My knees bleeding through my pajama pants. Lunch was 5 minutes. Protein bar shoved in my mouth while reviewing French irregular verbs. Choking on dry protein while my mother screamed, too slow. She made me hold 2 dictionaries above my head, arms straight out, hold for 1 hour while reciting every irregular past participle in French. My arms shook after 5 minutes. Burned after 10. At 15 minutes, I dropped them. Start over, she said. English was the worst. 4 hours because it's your native language, you should be perfect. Essay writing while standing, grammar exercises while holding squat position, vocabulary drills and stress positions. I didn't know had names. Anna tried to make it easier, whispered answers when our parents weren't looking, mouthed conjugations behind their backs, but they caught her helping during French practice. Your enabling weakness, my father said. He made her quiz me on Mandarin radicals while I stood in the corner balancing books on my outstretched arms. Every wrong answer, she had to add another book. I'm sorry, she whispered each time she added weight. By day 3, I was hallucinating, seeing Chinese characters floating in the air, hearing Spanish conjugations in my sleep, except I wasn't sleeping. 3 hours per night maximum. Sleep is wasted study time, Dr. Wong said, handing me another energy drink. My hands shook so bad I couldn't hold a pencil steady, made my handwriting look like a child's. Sloppy writing means sloppy thinking, my mother said. Cold shower punishment. 5 minutes under freezing water while reciting French poetry. My lips turned blue, couldn't stop shivering for an hour after. Day 5, I collapsed during Mandarin practice, just fell off my chair onto the floor. Get up, my father said. I couldn't. My legs wouldn't work. She's faking, Dr. Wong said. Attention-seeking behavior. Anna knelt beside me, felt my pulse. Her heart rate is wrong. It's too fast. Anxiety. She's working herself up. She needs a hospital. She needs discipline. They made me continue practicing lying on the floor, Anna holding flashcards above my face while I whispered answers through cracked lips. Day 7, I'd lost 3 more pounds. 79 pounds now. My period had stopped. Hair coming out in clumps. 1 week until competition, my mother announced at breakfast. Time to increase intensity. Day 8 started with me throwing up blood into the toilet. Get back to studying, my mother said from the doorway. You're wasting time. I couldn't stop shaking. My hands trembled so bad the pencil kept slipping. Tried to write the character for peace. It came out looking like a child's scribble. What is that supposed to be? My father grabbed my wrist. Write it properly. I can't. My hands won't stop. Then we'll make them stop. He filled the sink with ice water, held my hands under until they went numb. Now write. I couldn't feel the pencil, couldn't control my fingers. The characters came out worse. You're doing this on purpose. He grabbed the French dictionary, arms out. I held them out. He placed the dictionary on my right hand, then another on my left. My arms dropped immediately. I said, hold them. I can't. I'm too weak. Anna could hold them for an hour at your age. Anna was 105 pounds at my age. I'm 79. The scale that morning had shown 79 pounds. My hip bones stuck out like knives. My ribs looked like a xylophone under my skin. Spanish oral practice started at noon. Dr. Wong made me stand while reciting. 10 minutes in, my vision went black. I felt myself falling, hit the floor hard. When I opened my eyes, my mother was pouring ice water on my face. Get up. You're being dramatic. She passed out, Anna said. She needs a hospital. She needs to stop faking. They made me continue lying on the floor. Spanish subjunctive conjugations while horizontal. My voice came out in whispers. By evening, I was mixing languages uncontrollably. Started answering Mandarin questions in French, French questions in Spanish. My brain couldn't separate them anymore. Focus, my father screamed. You're not even trying. She's dying. Anna stood up from the table, tears streaming down her face. Can't you see she's dying? Look at her. She weighs nothing. She can't stand. She's hallucinating. Drama and weakness, my mother said calmly. You never complained like this. I tried to kill myself twice. Did you know that? Silence. Junior year, senior year. Pills both times. You were so focused on my language scores you never noticed. You're lying. Anna pulled up her sleeves, old scars across both wrists. This is what your methods created. A daughter who wanted to die rather than disappoint you. Those could be from anything. I have the hospital records, 2 suicide attempts, both during language competition season. My parents stared at her scars, then at me on the floor, then back to Anna. She's weaker than you, my father finally said. You survived. You got into Oxford. I got into Oxford despite you, not because of you. That night, I started seeing things that weren't there. Chinese characters floating on the ceiling, Spanish words crawling across the walls, French conjugations dripping like blood down the mirror. What are you looking at? Anna asked. The words. They're everywhere. She felt my forehead, burning hot. You have a fever. We need to get you help. 5 more days, I whispered. Competition in 5 days. You won't make it 5 days. Dr. Wong came in with more energy drinks. These have vitamins, electrolytes, everything she needs. I threw up the first one immediately. Green liquid all over the study materials. Wasteful, my mother said, making me clean it up while reciting French poetry. Day 9, I couldn't stand without help. Anna had to hold me up during Mandarin practice. She needs a doctor, Anna kept saying. She needs discipline, my parents kept answering. My temperature hit 102. Sweat pouring down my face while I shivered uncontrollably. It's just nerves, Dr. Wong said. Performance anxiety, common in weak students. I looked at Anna through my fever haze. She was crying again, documenting everything on her phone when our parents weren't looking. 4 more days, my mother announced that night. Then you'll prove you're our daughter. Day 10, I woke up to find a protein bar under my pillow. Anna whispered in my ear during morning Mandarin. Emma's mom drove by at 5 a.m., left a package in our mailbox. I grabbed it before Mom checked. The protein bar tasted like heaven. First real food I'd kept down in 3 days. Mrs. Patterson's been driving by every morning, Anna continued, pretending to quiz me on characters. Ms. Martinez organized it, teachers taking turns leaving supplies. I wanted to cry, but didn't have the energy. That afternoon, during Spanish practice, I saw Mrs. Brooks walk past our house 3 times. Each time she slowed down, took photos through the window. My mother had me standing in the corner, holding dictionaries. Perfect view from the street. She's documenting, Anna whispered when our parents went to the kitchen. PE teacher filed her 4th CPS report yesterday. They won't do anything. They need a concrete incident, something undeniable. My father came back, made me recite Spanish subjunctive for 2 hours straight. My voice gave out after 1 hour. He made me continue whispering. Dr. Wong showed up with more supplements. Special vitamins. For mental clarity. They made me dizzy instead. Room spinning while I tried to write French essays. Anna kept her phone hidden in her waistband, recording everything when our parents weren't watching. My father screaming about tones, my mother throwing flashcards at my face when I got characters wrong. Me collapsing during English practice and them dragging me back to the chair. State Language Olympics, Anna said that night when our parents were asleep. 3 days away, 8 hours of competition. I know. You'll collapse on stage, in front of hundreds of people, judges, other parents with phones. Good. She stared at me. Good? If I collapse there, they can't hide it. Can't claim I'm faking. Too many witnesses. You could die. I'm dying anyway. At least there it would mean something. Anna pulled out her phone, showed me the videos she'd taken, me vomiting blood, passing out, being forced to study while lying on the floor with a fever. I've sent these to Miss Martinez, Mrs. Brooks, Emma's mom, the school nurse, and they're building a case. But CPS says without immediate danger, they can't remove you before the competition. This isn't immediate danger? Not legally, not without you being hospitalized. Day 11, 2 days before competition. I weighed 77 pounds, couldn't stand without holding the wall. Hands shook so bad I couldn't hold a pencil. Emma's mom drove by again. This time she parked across the street, just sat there for an hour, watching. When my mother noticed, she closed all the curtains. Nosy Americans, she muttered. Miss Martinez sent a text to Anna's hidden phone. Ambulance on standby for competition day. First sign of medical crisis, we're intervening. That night I heard my parents talking in their room. She looks terrible, my father said. What if she embarrasses us? She won't. Dr. Wong has stimulants, enough to get her through 8 hours. What if she collapses? Then we say she has a medical condition. Eating disorder. Something that's her fault, not ours. Anna and I looked at each other. She held up her phone, recording light on. Got it, she mouthed. Day 12, last day before competition. My parents made me practice all 4 languages for 14 hours straight. No breaks, no food, just energy drinks that made my heart race. By midnight, I was hallucinating full conversations in languages that didn't exist, mixing Mandarin with Spanish with French with English into gibberish. Anna sat next to me. Tomorrow, State Language Olympics, Convention Center, hundreds of people. I know. Judges, parents, teachers, media, everyone watching. I know. When you collapse, and you will collapse, I'm calling 911 immediately. I don't care what they do to me. I squeezed her hand with what little strength I had left. Thank you. She squeezed back. We're getting you out. Tomorrow, one way or another. The morning of State Language Olympics, something was different. Other parents had started noticing me at school events. Mrs. Chen from the PTA stopped my mother last week. Is Alias okay? She looks so thin. Growth spurt, my mother said quickly. Very normal. Mrs. Rodriguez, whose daughter was in my Spanish class, cornered my father at pickup. My daughter says Alias collapsed in class, twice. She's dramatic, attention-seeking. But they kept watching, kept asking. taking photos when my parents weren't looking. The teachers were talking too. I heard them in the hallway when Dr. Wong took me to the bathroom. 77 pounds, the nurse was saying to Mrs. Brooks, that's critical. Principal won't do anything. Parents are major donors. Then we go above him. District level. Ms. Martinez had been collecting statements. Every teacher who'd seen me collapse. Every coach who'd noticed the bruises. Every staff member who'd watched me deteriorate. Someone filed an anonymous complaint with the district. Anna found the letter in my father's briefcase. Concerns about student welfare. Request for immediate investigation. My father had crumpled it up, thrown it away, never mentioned it. The medical clinic called our house 3 times. I'd been there for dehydration, malnutrition, stress gastritis. The pattern triggered their abuse protocol. Just checking on all, yes, the nurse said when my mother answered, making sure she's following up with treatment. She's fine. We're handling it. We need to see her for a follow-up. It's required. After her competition. We're very busy. CPS had opened a preliminary file, case number 2847B. Anna saw it on an email Dr. Wong accidentally left open. But my parents didn't care, didn't notice. Competition was tomorrow. Nothing else mattered. 8 hours, my mother kept saying. 8 hours to prove you're our daughter. That night, Anna snuck into my room with a USB drive. Everything's on here. Every recording, every photo, every piece of evidence. Why? Ms. Martinez is meeting me before the competition, giving her everything. She's bringing people, CPS, police, medical team. They'll stop it? The second you show distress, the second you collapse, they're intervening. My parents were in their room planning transportation, what time to leave, where to park, which events to prioritize if I couldn't complete all 4. Start with Mandarin, my father said. Most impressive. No, English essay. She's strongest there. Spanish debate shows real skill. French poetry is most artistic. They never once mentioned my health, never asked if I could even stand for 8 hours. Dr. Wong had prepared a bag of supplements, energy drinks, protein bars, even some pills she wouldn't identify. Emergency boost, she called them, if she starts failing. Anna photographed every label when Dr. Wong wasn't looking. Some of these are prescription stimulants, illegal without proper documentation. Evidence? Everything's evidence now. 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep, kept throwing up bile. Nothing left in my stomach to lose. 3 a.m. Tried to practice Mandarin. Couldn't remember basic characters I'd known since age 5. 4 a.m. Attempted to stand, legs shaking so bad I had to hold the desk. 4:30. Crawled to the bathroom, used the wall to pull myself up to the toilet. 5 a.m. Tried to stand again. My legs buckled completely. Hit the bathroom floor hard. I lay there on the cold tile. Couldn't move. Couldn't call for help. Just stared at the ceiling waiting for someone to find me. Anna's alarm went off down the hall. Her footsteps. The bathroom door opening. She looked down at me. At my skeletal frame crumpled on the floor. At my lips turning blue. At my eyes barely focusing. This is it, she said, pulling out her phone. She dialed 3 numbers. 911? My 13-year-old sister has collapsed. She's severely malnourished and can't stand. We need an ambulance immediately. I could hear the sirens getting closer through the bathroom window. My parents burst through the door. My father saw me on the floor and his face went purple. Get up. You're faking to avoid competition. She can't fake this, Anna said. Look at her. She's manipulating you. Get her up. My mother grabbed my arm, tried to pull me to standing. I collapsed immediately. The doorbell rang. Pounding followed. Paramedics. We received a 911 call. There's been a mistake, my father called out. No emergency here. More pounding. We need to verify the patient's condition. Anna ran downstairs and opened the door. 2 paramedics rushed in with their equipment. My parents tried to block the stairs. Our daughter is fine. This is a misunderstanding. Sir, we need to assess her. Please step aside. They pushed past my parents, found me on the bathroom floor. 1 paramedic knelt beside me, fingers on my wrist. Pulse is 140. She's tachycardic. The other wrapped a blood pressure cuff around my skeletal arm. 70/40. Dangerously low. She's just dehydrated, my mother said. Give her some water and leave. The paramedic lifted my eyelid, shined a light. Pupils sluggish. When did she last eat? This morning, my father lied. They've been starving her. Making her study for 12 hours straight. No food, no breaks. Anna said. That's not true, my mother snapped. Anna, be quiet. They've been beating her for months. Every wrong answer means physical punishment. The paramedic saw the bruises on my arms. Old ones, new ones, finger marks. How did she get these? She's clumsy, my father said. These are grip marks. Someone grabbed her. They throw books at her, Anna said, tears streaming down her face. Make her kneel on rice. Stand in ice water. Hold dictionaries for hours. Shut up, my mother hissed at Anna. You don't know what you're saying. The paramedic was checking my vitals again. Heart rate climbing, 150, 160. We need to transport immediately, the other one said. She has a competition today, my father said. State Language Olympics. She's entered in 4 categories. The paramedic looked at him like he was insane. Sir, your daughter is in critical condition. She needs emergency medical treatment. She's faking. She does this for attention. Nobody can fake a blood pressure of 70/40. Her body is shutting down. They lifted me onto a stretcher. I weighed so little one of them could have carried me alone. I'm riding with her, Anna said. No, you're not, my mother grabbed Anna's arm. Let go of me. You did this, you called them. Because she's dying. Because you're killing her. The paramedics were already moving me downstairs. My father followed, still arguing. This is unnecessary. We can handle this at home. Sir, she needs IV fluids immediately. Her organs could start failing. You're overreacting. The lead paramedic stopped, turned to face my father. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've seen child abuse. I've seen neglect. This is both. We're mandatory reporters. CPS will be notified. My mother's face went white. You can't do that. We're legally required to. They loaded me into the ambulance. Anna broke free from my mother's grip and climbed in after me. I'm her sister. I'm 18. I'm coming. The paramedic nodded and closed the doors. Through the window, I saw my parents standing in the driveway, my mother on her phone, probably calling their lawyer. The paramedic inserted an IV into my arm. The needle looked huge against my skeletal wrist. This child is severely malnourished, he said to his partner. Radio ahead. Tell them we need pediatric emergency and social services on standby. The ambulance doors burst open at the emergency entrance. 13-year-old female, severe malnutrition, BP 70/40, possible abuse case, the paramedic called out. They wheeled me straight into trauma bay. Nurses surrounded the gurney. Someone called for pediatric emergency. Get me 2 large bore IVs, the doctor ordered. This kid's circling the drain. My parents arrived 10 minutes later. I could hear my father in the hallway. This is ridiculous. She has an eating disorder. She does this to herself. The doctor stepped out to face them. Your daughter weighs 77 pounds. She has severe anemia and dehydration. She refuses to eat, my mother said. We've tried everything. The bruises on her arms suggest otherwise. She's clumsy. A woman in a suit appeared. I'm Linda Hayes from Child Protective Services. The hospital called us. This is harassment, my father said. It's protocol. Severe malnutrition in a minor triggers automatic investigation. Anna pulled the USB drive from her pocket. I have evidence. Recordings, photos, everything they've done to her. Linda took the USB. Can you come with me to review this? They went to a side room. Through the door, I could hear my parents' voices from the recordings, screaming about language mistakes, the sound of books being thrown, me crying. That's taken out of context, my mother said. There's 3 hours of recordings here, Linda said. The emergency room door opened. Ms. Martinez rushed in with a thick folder. I'm her school counselor. I've been documenting the abuse for months. She handed Linda the folder. Photos of bruises, weight charts showing my decline, incident reports. Her principal blocked my reports, Ms. Martinez said. The parents are major donors. My father's face went red. You have no right. I have every right. I'm a mandated reporter. Emma's mom arrived next. I saw the bruises myself. Called the parents. They said she was going through a phase. This is a conspiracy, my mother said. Americans don't understand our culture. Child abuse isn't culture, Linda said, flipping through photos of my bruised arms. The doctor came back with test results. Blood work shows severe vitamin deficiencies, iron so low she needs transfusion, stress hormones through the roof. From her eating disorder, my father insisted. From chronic abuse, the doctor said. I've seen enough cases to know the difference. He lifted my hospital gown slightly, showing my protruding ribs. This child has been systematically starved. We spend $3,000 monthly on her education, my mother said. On language tutors. Not food, apparently. Anna came back from the review room. Her eyes were red. I played them everything. The punishments, them discussing how to hide bruises, everything. You betrayed your family, my mother hissed. You nearly killed my sister. Linda returned with 2 police officers. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, we need to ask you some questions. We want our lawyer. That's your right. But your daughter stays here. She has state language Olympics today, my father said. 4 categories. Everyone in the room stared at him. Your daughter is fighting for her life and you're worried about a competition, the doctor said. She's entered in all 4 languages. It's important. Linda wrote something in her notebook. That tells me everything I need to know. The nurse adjusting my IV shook her head. In 20 years, I've never seen parents this disconnected from reality. My mother started crying. Not for me, for herself. This will ruin our reputation. What will people think? They'll think you're child abusers, Ms. Martinez said. Because you are. The monitors started beeping, my heart rate climbing again. Everyone out, the doctor ordered. She's getting agitated. Anna grabbed my hand. I'm staying. Family only. I'm her sister. And right now, I'm the only real family she has. The doctor looked at my parents, then at Anna, then nodded. She stays. Everyone else out. They moved me to a private room while the system kicked into gear. Linda from CPS sat next to my bed with a laptop. Emergency intervention order. Your parents can't be alone with you until the investigation concludes. My father stood in the doorway. This is kidnapping. This is child protection protocol. You're welcome to sit with her, but a social worker must be present. For how long? Until the judge decides. 2 police officers arrived with evidence bags. They'd been to our house, found the rice my parents made me kneel on, the dictionaries I held for hours, the bucket for ice water punishments. We need to photograph her injuries, one officer said. They documented every bruise, every mark, the bald patches where I'd pulled out my hair, my skeletal frame, 77 pounds at 13 years old. This is extensive abuse, the officer said, physical and psychological. The school district superintendent showed up next. We're launching a full investigation into why multiple reports weren't acted on. Principal Chen blocked them, Ms. Martinez said. Every single one. He's been placed on administrative leave pending review. My mother gasped. But the language lab donation, $40,000. Cannot buy silence about child abuse. Teachers started arriving. Mrs. Brooks from PE, the school nurse, my Spanish teacher, my math teacher, all carrying documentation. I reported bruises 3 times, Mrs. Brooks said. I documented weight loss weekly, the nurse added. She collapsed in my class twice, my Spanish teacher said. I found her crying in the bathroom pulling out her hair, my math teacher said. Principal Chen had ignored them all. We tried, Mrs. Brooks said to me. I'm sorry it took this long. Dr. Wong showed up, demanding to see me. Security blocked her at the elevator. I'm her academic coach. You're under investigation for providing prescription stimulants to a minor, Linda said. Those were vitamins. We have the pills. They're being tested. Anna sat next to my bed through everything. When visiting hours ended, Linda made an announcement. Anna Chen is being designated temporary guardian during the investigation. She's only 18, my father protested. She's an adult. She's the victim's sister. She reported the abuse. The court approved it an hour ago. This is insane. What's insane is entering a 77-pound child in 8 hours of language competition. My parents' lawyer arrived. Expensive suit, leather briefcase. My clients dispute all allegations. Linda pulled up the recordings on her laptop. My parents' voices filled the room, discussing punishment methods, calling me weak, planning to hide bruises. The lawyer's face went pale. I need to speak with my clients privately. They left. Anna squeezed my hand. It's over. They can't hurt you anymore. But my body didn't know it was over. Heart still racing, hands still shaking. Every time someone raised their voice, I flinched. The psychiatrist came to evaluate me. Severe PTSD, anxiety disorder, depression, medical trauma. She'll need intensive therapy. For how long? Years, probably. My mother came back without the lawyer, tears streaming down her face. Real tears this time. We were trying to help you succeed. You were killing me. Anna survived it. Anna stood up. I tried to kill myself, twice. That's not surviving. We didn't know. Because you didn't care. All you saw were language scores. The judge called a hearing for the next morning, emergency custody decision. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard Mandarin tones, Spanish conjugations, French poetry, English grammar rules. Anna stayed awake with me. It's over. Tomorrow the judge decides, but either way, you're not going back to that house. What if they get custody back? They won't. Too much evidence. Too many witnesses. What if the judge believes them? Nobody could look at you and believe them. 77 pounds, alias. You almost died. 3 days passed in a blur of IV drips and heart monitors. My parents came for supervised visits, always with Linda from CPS sitting in the corner taking notes. They'd walk in angry, leave crying, then come back angry again. We only wanted you to succeed like Anna, my mother said on day 2. Oxford, 4 languages, everything we dreamed of. But Anna stood up from her chair so fast it scraped against the floor. I attempted suicide twice. Is that success? My parents froze. My mother's mouth opened, but no sound came out. What? My father finally managed. Junior year, senior year, pills both times, stomach pumped twice. You never noticed because you were at language competitions? You're lying. Anna pulled out her phone, showed them hospital discharge papers she'd photographed. March 15th, May 22nd, suicide attempts, both during competition season. My mother sank into the visitor's chair. We didn't know. Because you didn't want to know. All you saw were test scores. My father's face went gray. But you got into Oxford. Despite you, not because of you. I got in because I survived what you did to me. Day 3, my grandparents arrived from Taiwan. They marched in ready for battle. This is Western nonsense, my grandmother announced. Strong discipline builds character. Linda pulled up the photos on her tablet. My skeletal frame, 77 pounds, bruises covering my arms, bald patches where I'd pulled out my hair. My grandmother's hand went to her mouth. This is discipline? Linda asked. My grandfather took the tablet, scrolled through image after image. His hands started shaking. We didn't know, he whispered. They said she was being dramatic. Look at the medical records, Linda said. Severe malnutrition, stress gastritis, heart problems from starvation. My grandmother reached for my hand, felt how thin my fingers were, how cold. We told them to be firm, she said. Not this. Never this. They made her kneel on rice for 30 minutes, Anna said. Stand in ice water. Hold books for hours. That's not discipline, my grandfather said. That's torture. They turned to look at my parents. Something shifted in the room. The grandparents who'd always supported them now saw them clearly. How could you? My grandmother asked my mother. Your own child? You told us to be strict. You praised our methods. We praised success, not abuse. The family court hearing was tomorrow. 9 a.m. Judge Margaret Chen presiding. No relation despite the shared surname. Linda had assembled everything. 43 photos, 23 audio recordings, 17 video files, medical records showing my weight drop from 104 pounds to 77, teacher testimonies, CPS reports. My parents' lawyer reviewed it all. His face got paler with each page. This is extensive documentation, he told them quietly. Can you fight it? I can try, but this judge has no tolerance for child abuse. That night, Anna slept in the chair next to my bed. I kept waking up in panic, dreaming about Mandarin characters floating in the air, Spanish verbs chasing me down hallways. Tomorrow the judge decides, Anna said at 3 a.m. when I woke up gasping. What if she sends me back? Look at yourself. 77 pounds, hospitalized. Nobody's sending you back. Morning came too fast. They wheeled me to the courthouse in a wheelchair. Too weak to walk that far. The courtroom was small. Judge Chen already at her bench. She'd reviewed everything the night before, every photo, every recording, every piece of evidence. When my parents walked in, she looked at them with an expression I'll never forget. Not just disgust, something deeper, like she was looking at monsters who'd forgotten they were human. I've been a family court judge for 20 years, she said. I've seen terrible things. But this, she held up a photo of me at 77 pounds. This is systematic torture disguised as education. My parents' lawyer started to speak. She cut him off with a raised hand. I've heard the recordings. I've seen the evidence. I've read the medical reports. She looked directly at my parents. Then she began reading her ruling. This court finds the parents guilty of systematic child abuse through educational torture. Judge Chen's voice cut through the courtroom like a blade. My parents' lawyer started to object. She silenced him with one look. I hereby order the following immediate interventions. She adjusted her glasses and read from her ruling. Mandatory parenting classes for 18 months, 3 times per week. Any absence will result in contempt charges. My mother gasped. 3 times a week? But our work? Should have thought of that before starving your child to 77 pounds. The judge continued. Weekly family therapy sessions, also mandatory. Licensed therapists specializing in abuse recovery. This is excessive, my father said. What's excessive is making a child kneel on rice for 30 minutes because she mixed up verb conjugations. She turned the page. No unsupervised contact with alias for 6 months minimum. All visits must have a social worker present. She's our daughter. Who you nearly killed. Anna Chen is granted temporary custody effective immediately. Anna squeezed my hand. I could barely process what was happening. 6 months without them controlling every minute of my day. Furthermore, Judge Chen continued, the parents will pay all medical bills related to this abuse, all therapy costs, all recovery expenses. How much? My father asked. However much it takes. Your daughter has stress gastritis, severe malnutrition, PTSD, hair loss from trauma. That's years of treatment. My parents' lawyer whispered something to them. My father's face went purple. The district attorney is reviewing this case for criminal charges, Judge Chen said. Physical abuse of a minor, child endangerment, medical neglect. Criminal charges? My mother's voice cracked. You systematically tortured a 13-year-old. What did you expect? A warning? She set down the ruling and looked directly at my parents. The school district has scheduled a disciplinary hearing for next Tuesday. I suggest you prepare explanations for why you threatened to withdraw donations when staff reported abuse. That was taken out of context. I heard the recording. You literally said you'd reconsider financial support if the counselor didn't stop interfering. Principal Chen wasn't related to us, but he'd taken $40,000 to look the other way. Now he was suspended, under investigation. Career probably over. Any violation of these orders will result in immediate jail time, Judge Chen said. No warnings, no second chances. My father stood up. Your Honor, we were trying to give her opportunities. 4 languages, the best education money could buy. You gave her trauma that will last a lifetime. Anna Chen just testified she attempted suicide twice under your care. Twice. We didn't know. Because you didn't want to know. All you saw were test scores and competition rankings. She picked up another document. Dr. Patricia Wong's license is under review for providing prescription stimulants to a minor. She's been reported to the medical board. She was helping maximize potential, my mother said. She was drugging a child to push through abuse. That's not medicine, it's assault. The judge stood up. This ruling is effective immediately. Anna Chen, you're now legally responsible for your sister's well-being. Anna stood too. I understand, Your Honor. CPS will check in weekly for the first month, then monthly for a year. We'll cooperate fully. My parents' lawyer gathered his papers. We'll be appealing. Good luck with that, Judge Chen said. Any judge who sees a photo of this 77-pound child will have the same reaction I did. Horror. Security escorted my parents out first. My mother was crying, real tears this time, not for what she'd done to me, for what was happening to her. The embarrassment, the financial cost, the criminal charges. My father turned back once. We only wanted you to succeed. You wanted me to be your trophy, I said. My voice was weak but clear. I was never your daughter. Just a project that failed. They left. Anna wheeled me back to the hospital. 18 months of mandatory parenting classes, she said in the elevator. They'll hate every second. Good. 6 months, no unsupervised contact. You're free. Free. I didn't even know what that word meant anymore. Back at the hospital, news traveled fast. The next morning, my father's name disappeared from the school board website. Just gone. Like he never existed. The $40,000 language lab still had a plaque with his name, but maintenance was already unscrewing it. Emergency board meeting last night, Anna told me, reading from her phone. Unanimous vote, your father's banned from all school property for 1 year. My mother's teaching position at the international school was different. Suspended pending investigation, 20 years of teaching undone in 20 minutes. They're reviewing every student she's taught, Anna said, looking for patterns of harsh discipline. Emma's mom visited that afternoon. Half the parents' WhatsApp group is horrified, the other half is silent. Nobody wants to admit they knew something was wrong. Mrs. Chen from PTA, no relation, had been the loudest offender until she saw the photos. 77 pounds, ribs like ladder rungs. Then she deleted all her messages and pretended she never knew us. The Rodriguez family who lived next door suddenly remembered all the screaming they'd heard through the walls. The Nguyens recalled seeing me practice Mandarin until midnight through our dining room window. Everyone had a story now that it was safe to tell. The 4 private tutoring centers my parents used all dropped us as clients within 48 hours. Liability issues, one director explained to Anna over the phone. We can't be associated with this. $800 per month per language, $3,200 total, all gone overnight. My father's company issued a statement by Thursday. We are deeply concerned by these allegations and are reviewing Mr. Chen's position. Translation. They were looking for legal ways to fire him. Senior management doesn't want the scandal, Anna explained. Bad for international partnerships. The extended family was splitting down the middle. My aunts in California sided with my parents at first. Tough love, they called it. Then my grandmother sent them the photos, the medical records, the court documents. My youngest aunt called Anna crying. We didn't know it was this bad. We thought she was just struggling with academics. She was being tortured, Anna said. Not struggling. Tortured. Some relatives went silent, others sent money for medical bills. My uncle in Seattle, who'd always praised my parents' discipline, transferred $5,000 with a note. For Alias's recovery, we failed her, but the real shock came Saturday morning. The community newspaper ran the story. Front page. Local student hospitalized after years of academic abuse. They didn't use our names, but everyone knew. 13-year-old girl, 4 languages, 77 pounds, state language Olympics. The article included quotes from teachers, from CPS, from the hospital. This is the worst case of educational abuse I've seen in 20 years, Linda from CPS was quoted saying. My parents' phones wouldn't stop ringing. Reporters wanted statements. Other parents wanted explanations. The district wanted documentation. Their lawyer advised them to say nothing, but my mother couldn't help herself. She posted on Facebook about Western softness ruining education, about how her methods produced an Oxford scholar in Anna. The comment section exploded. Your daughter weighed 77 pounds. You're a monster. I'm calling CPS on my neighbors now. Thank you for showing me what to look for. Anna attempted suicide twice. Is that success? She deleted the post within an hour, but screenshots were already circulating. My father tried damage control at work, claimed it was a misunderstanding, cultural differences, overzealous parenting. His boss called Anna. We need to distance ourselves from this situation. Your father should consider resigning quietly. The Mandarin teacher from my Saturday language school sent a card. I always wondered why you looked so tired. I should have spoken up. I'm sorry. The Spanish tutor who'd watched me cry through subjunctive drills texted Anna. I reported concerns twice. Your parents threatened to sue me. I have the emails if you need them for court. By Sunday, we were infamous. The cautionary tale every tiger parent would hear about. The line between excellence and abuse. The family that crossed it and got caught. Good, Anna said, reading another article about our case. Let everyone know what they did. Maybe it'll save another kid. The first week living with just Anna felt like learning to breathe again. I slept 10 hours straight that first night. No alarms for Mandarin practice at 5 a.m. No flashcards waiting on my nightstand. Just sleep. Deep, dreamless sleep. Anna made pancakes for breakfast. Real food. Not protein bars eaten while conjugating verbs. You can go back to bed after this, she said, but it's 8 a.m. So? I went back to bed. Slept until noon. Woke up without panic for the first time in months. The second day, Anna asked what I wanted to do about languages. You don't have to study any of them, she said. Not if you don't want to. I actually like Spanish, when it's not being screamed at me. Then just Spanish. 1 hour a day. For fun. I'd forgotten learning could be fun. We found a new Spanish teacher, Mrs. Garcia. She taught through movies and music. No kneeling on rice for wrong conjugations. No ice water punishments, just gentle corrections and encouragement. Your accent is beautiful, she said during our first lesson. You have natural talent. I started crying. She thought she'd said something wrong. Nobody ever said I was good at anything, just that I wasn't good enough. By day 3, my other grades started improving. Math went from an F to a C just because I could actually focus. Science made sense when I wasn't exhausted. History became interesting when I had time to read. Ms. Martinez visited every afternoon, brought homework, checked my weight, made sure I was eating. 82 pounds today, she said on Thursday. 5 pounds in 4 days. Good progress. Food stays down when nobody's screaming at me during meals. Friday afternoon, she brought drama club registration forms. Spring play auditions next month. Thought you might want to try. Drama. My old love. The thing I'd given up for languages. I don't know if I can still act. Only one way to find out. I signed up. First meeting was Monday. When I walked in, everyone stared. They all knew. The girl who almost died from language study. But the drama teacher, Mr. Rivera, just smiled. Welcome back, Alias. We missed you. We did voice exercises, projection, breathing, speaking from the diaphragm. When it was my turn to read a monologue, my voice shook. I can't. Everyone's watching. That's the point of theater, Mr. Rivera said gently. But this time, they're choosing to watch. You're choosing to be seen. I read the monologue, stumbled through it, voice barely above a whisper. Better, he said. We'll work on volume. But the emotion was real. Tuesday was my first therapy session. Dr. Sarah Kim, specialized in trauma recovery. Tell me why you're here, she said. I started talking, couldn't stop. 40 minutes of words pouring out. The punishments, the starvation, the competition, the collapse. When I finished, I was sobbing, snot running down my face, ugly crying. You survived something terrible, she said, handing me tissues. Most adults wouldn't survive what you went through. But I'm so weak. I collapsed. Failed. You're not weak. Your body shut down to save your life. That's not failure. That's survival. I can't even write Chinese characters anymore without shaking. Good. Your body is protecting you from trauma. We'll work on separating languages from abuse. Wednesday, I attended drama club again. This time my projection was stronger. Not quite normal volume, but better. You're finding your voice, Mr. Rivera said, literally and figuratively. Thursday, Anna and I had movie night. Spanish films with English subtitles, educational but fun. No tests, no punishments, just popcorn and laughter when we misunderstood dialogue. You know what's weird? I said. I actually understand more Spanish now than when I was studying 8 hours a day. Because you're not terrified. Fear blocks learning. Friday marked 1 week of freedom. I'd gained 7 pounds, slept 8 hours every night, laughed at least once each day. Small victories. But after months of hell, they felt like miracles. 3 months later, I weighed 105 pounds. My face had filled out, my hair grew back, I could walk upstairs without stopping to catch my breath. Small victories that felt enormous. The first family therapy session was scheduled for Tuesday. Court ordered. My parents had no choice. Dr. Kim prepared me Monday night. They might not apologize. They might still blame you. Are you ready for that? I just want to understand why. Tuesday afternoon, my parents walked into Dr. Kim's office. They looked smaller somehow. My father's hair had gone gray at the temples. My mother had lost weight. Alias looks healthy, my mother said. Because she's not being tortured anymore, Anna said. We never saw it as torture, my father said quietly. What did you see it as? Dr. Kim asked. Excellence, preparation, love. Love doesn't leave bruises, I said. My mother started crying, real tears, not the performative ones from court. I became my mother without realizing it, she said. She made me study 14 hours a day in Taiwan. I hated her for it, swore I'd never do that to my children. But you did. You did worse. I thought I was giving you opportunities she never gave me. 4 languages. The best tutors. Everything I wished I'd had. I wished I had a mother who didn't hit me. My father cleared his throat. I failed at languages. My parents spent everything on English tutors, but I could never master it. When I came to America, people laughed at my accent. I wanted you to never feel that shame. So you gave me different shame instead. We see that now. The therapy sessions have been educational. Educational. Like everything's a lesson to you. Doctor, Kim intervened. Mr. Chen, tell Alias what you wrote in your reflection journal. He pulled out a notebook, hands shaking. I wrote that I projected my failed dreams onto my daughter. I turned her into a project instead of seeing her as a person. I measured her worth in test scores. And, Dr. Kim prompted, and I nearly killed her doing it. Those words hung in the air. My father admitting what he'd done. Finally. We're sorry, my mother said. I know that's not enough. But we're sorry. I looked at them. These people who'd terrorized me for months, who'd starved me down to 77 pounds, who'd made me kneel on rice until my knees bled. I don't forgive you. Not yet. Maybe not ever. They nodded. They'd been told to expect this in their therapy. But I want to understand. Why was Anna's success not enough? Because Anna was Anna and you were you, my mother said. 2 chances at perfection. We're not chances. We're people. We see that now. Gee. After they left, Anna and I sat in the parking lot. That was hard, she said, but necessary. They actually admitted it. I never thought they would. 18 months of court-ordered therapy does things to people. We went home. Our apartment. Anna had gotten a job tutoring online to pay rent. I helped by doing chores, cooking simple meals. That night, she helped me with algebra homework. Gentle corrections. No punishment for wrong answers. Try this formula, she suggested. I don't understand. That's okay. Let's break it down smaller. No slapping, no ice water, no kneeling, just patience. You're a good teacher, I told her. I learned what not to do from them. Thursday was her therapy session. She'd started going after the court case. My therapist says I have survivor's guilt, she told me that night, because I got out and you didn't. You came back for me. That's what matters. I should have done it sooner. You were surviving too. We were learning to be sisters. Real sisters, not competitors for our parents' approval. Friday night, we watched movies. Saturday, she taught me to cook. Sunday, we went to the park and just sat in the sun. Normal things. Healing things. You know what's weird? I said. I actually miss studying Spanish sometimes. That's not weird. You liked Spanish before they weaponized it. Mrs. Garcia says I could take AP Spanish next year if I want. Do you want to? Maybe. If it stays fun. Anna smiled. Then do it. On your terms, not theirs. 6 months later, I stood backstage waiting for my cue, the spring play, a Spanish adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. I was Julieta, speaking entirely in Spanish for 90 minutes, by choice. Anna peeked through the curtain. They're here. 3rd row, CPS supervisor 2 seats over. My parents. First time they'd see me perform since everything happened. Supervised visit at a public event, the court's compromise. You okay? Anna asked. My hands won't stop shaking. That's normal. You're about to perform in front of people who tortured you. The lights dimmed. My cue. I walked onto stage. The Spanish flowed out of me, not forced, not beaten into me, just natural. Mrs. Garcia had been right. I did have talent, when fear wasn't choking it. Halfway through Act 2, I saw my mother crying, real tears, watching her daughter excel at something she'd chosen, not something forced on her. The final scene. Julieta's death monologue. All in Spanish. Complex grammar. Perfect subjunctive mood. Everything they'd tried to beat into me, now flowing out because I wanted it to. The crowd erupted, standing ovation. My parents stood too, clapping. The CPS supervisor watched them carefully. Backstage, they were allowed 5 supervised minutes. Your Spanish was perfect, my mother said, because I chose it. We understand that now. My father cleared his throat. We're proud of you. For the Spanish? For surviving us. Those words hung between us. The most honest thing he'd ever said. After they left, Ms. Martinez found me in the dressing room. You're my hero, she said. I'm not a hero. I just survived. That's what heroes do. Thursday was my peer counseling shift. I worked with stressed students now, helped them recognize the difference between normal academic pressure and abuse. A sophomore came in crying. My parents want me to take 6 AP classes next year. Why? Because my brother took 5. I recognized the pattern, the competition, the impossible standards. You know you're allowed to say no? They'll be disappointed. Better disappointed than dead. She stared at me. Everyone knew my story now. The girl who almost died for languages. It really got that bad? 77 pounds, hospitalized. Almost died. Yeah, it got that bad. Some days were harder than others. Someone would raise their hand too fast, and I'd flinch. A door would slam, and I'd think it was a textbook being thrown. I'd wake up at 5 a.m. in panic, thinking I was late for Mandarin practice. Some nights I still dreamed in 4 languages, Mandarin characters floating through nightmares. Spanish subjunctive haunting my sleep. French poetry becoming monsters. English grammar rules chasing me down hallways. PTSD, Dr. Kim explained. It'll fade. But it takes time. How much time? Years, probably. But each year gets easier. Anna and I started writing our story together. Every Sunday, we'd sit at our kitchen table and write about the abuse, the survival, the recovery. We should call it 4 languages, 77 pounds, Anna suggested. Too clinical. Love shouldn't hurt? Better. We wrote about her suicide attempts I never knew about. My collapse she saw coming. The system that failed us. The system that finally saved us. Think it'll help anyone? I asked. If it saves one kid, it's worth it. People ask me questions all the time now. Do you forgive your parents? I'm working on it in therapy. Some days I'm closer than others. Do you still study languages? Just Spanish. But now it feels like music, not prison. Are you okay? That was the hardest question. Was I okay? I weighed 105 pounds. I could sleep through the night. I could eat without throwing up. I could laugh. But I still flinched. Still had nightmares. Still couldn't write Chinese characters without my hand shaking. I'm learning to be, I'd tell them. And that's enough for today. Because that's all any of us can do. Learn to be okay. One day at a time, one breath at a time, one word at a time, in whatever language we choose.